Namaste. And welcome to your Hatha class. Today we're going to keep it simple. So I don't know about you, but I tend to overcomplicate as many things as I can, trying to put in all the ideas, everything I've learned, all the ways I want to inspire and be inspired by. But sometimes just simplifying it and making it easy is what we need to find a little bit more peace and still get the job done. So today's class, I offer you simple postures and encourage you to make them even more simple if you need. Of course, there's always the option to take things a little bit further if you need a little bit more of an energizing or challenging class. But I really invite you to drop down into this sense of easy breath, easy movements, and not overcomplicating things. So we're going to begin just sitting comfortably, breathing deeply, finding a few moments of quiet meditation, just us and our breath, as if we were on the shore of the ocean of inhales and exhales. Begin to listen for and witness a breath in and a breath out. Allowing that sound of breath to be your background music today. Washing over you from the crown of your head, down the spine, through the bowl of the pelvis, the legs, and back up through the front body. Finally exhaling through the nose. And knowing that this is enough. This is meditation. This is yoga. You don't have to memorize a long mantra. You don't have to perfect the perfect asana. You can just simply sit and be aware and breathe. Filling in all the way on your inhales. Exhaling all the air out. Becoming just a gentle, conscious observer of the breath, of your body, of your presence in this exact time and space. Now breath in, blink open the eyes, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale, plant them down in front of you, making your way to tabletop. So that we can begin to press up into downward facing dog. Simple, small, slow movements. Taking a few rounds of breath to find yourself in the shape. Adjust as you need to feel grounded and comfortable. And then look between your hands and make your way to the top of the mat for a forward fold. Bend the knees deeply, tuck the tailbone slightly, and slowly roll up to stand, taking your time. Rolling the shoulders down the back and finally lifting the chin and your gaze. Palms face forward. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Slow motion dive down, fingertips reach for the earth. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step back to plank or lower to your knees. A breath here, and then lower all the way down to your belly on the exhale. Inhale to cobra, drawing the shoulders down your back, palms spread wide but light in the hands. Gaze at the top of your mat. Exhale, lower the forehead, tuck the toes under, press up and back to downward facing dog. Completing our sun salutation A, look between the hands, make your way back to the top of the mat for forward fold. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, releasing the torso over the legs, forward fold. And inhaling up to stand. Arms up, gaze up, palms together, exhale them down through the center line of the body. Take a moment here. Coming back to the ocean sounds of ujjayi breathing. Then releasing the hands, blinking open the eyes. Inhale to chair, reach the arms up, bend the knees and send the hips back, shifting the weight to the heels. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, and lower to your belly, cobra, or a little lift for upward facing dog. Exhale, lift up and back to downward facing dog. And then we'll step our right foot between the hands for warrior one. Plant the back heel, ground down to lift up as you reach your arms up. Gaze, chest, and hips are facing forward. Adjust your stance as you need. Gently pulling that right hip back and the left hip forward. One more inhale. Use your exhale to gently lower down to the mat. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back. Lower through cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps between the front hands. Right heel spins down. Hug the legs together and use that momentum to gently lift up. Warrior one on the other side. This time the left hip's going to gently pull back. Trying to square your hips and your shoulders to the top of the mat. Breathe in. Find a little lift. Exhale, lower the hands to frame the front foot. Step back to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly or chaturanga. Cobra up dog on the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between the hands. Step forward to forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Closing out our sun salutation B. Inhale to chair, knees bend, arms rise, look up. Inhale to stand, reach up and back. Exhale to mountain. Palms together, heart center, breathing deeply. Invitation to close the eyes and come back to that simple meditation of breath. Take a full inhale, then open the eyes. Lower the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale, step that left foot to the back of the mat, find warrior two. Back heel spins down. Left toes face the long edge of the mat. Right knee is bent. And then we blossom our arms open to a T shape. So the right fingertips are reaching forward. Left fingertips are reaching back. Gaze over the front fingers. Inhale to straighten that front knee. Exhale back to our warrior two. Inhale to straighten the front knee. Exhale, warrior two, and stay here for a few rounds of breath. Keep it simple and light as best you can. One more breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame the front foot. Step forward to forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, send the right foot to the back of the mat. Finding warrior two on the other side. Right toes face the long edge of the mat. Arms wide at a T. Broadening through the chest and the hips. Grounding down, finding our center. And then straightening that front leg. Exhaling back to warrior two, bending into the left front knee. Straightening that front knee. Exhaling, bending in. One more time. Coming back to warrior two with the front knee bent. Breathe here. Gaze over the front fingertips. Find some length in the spine. And then cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Lower the right knee, come down to hands and knees. Roll it out with some cat and cow. Finding your breath and allowing the in and out to lull you back to focus on the body, on the mat, your presence right here with your body. Deep and full breathing. Simple breaths. Letting go of the need to guess what's next or make things more than they are. Just curling the spine and then dropping the belly. Coming back to neutral spine. Step that right foot between the hands and come up to a low lunge with your hands on your knees. Bring your right hand to your right hip and reach that left arm up, and then we're just going to curve to the right, looking for a deep stretch in the front body, maybe getting into that psoas. You can also have a block right here under your hand to give you a little more support. Put your forearm on your shin. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Just find where you naturally want to go to help support yourself and breathe there. Maybe that's dropping your hip a little bit and arching back. Maybe you're holding on to a wall for support. All is well. Breathe. Exhaling, coming back to center. Step that right knee back and then step the left foot forward, finding our low lunge on the other side. Left hand's going to come to your hip, right arm's going to come up overhead, and then adjust as you need. Breathing into that front side body. Finding a little lift, maybe getting into that psoas. Gentle curve to the left. And exhaling back to center. Coming back to our knees, sitting down on our feet. Finding Thunderbolt Pose, bring your hands on your knees. Roll the shoulders down the back. Tuck the chin. Find a little lift in the belly button as you slightly tuck the tailbone. Breathing here. Witness to your breath. Finding rest in the posture. Allowing your thoughts to just drift by. Simply breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhale, gently lift the gaze. Shift the hips to one side and find Balakonasana, soles of the feet together for our bound angle pose. Draw the heels in or as far away as you'd like. Finding a little length in the spine. This also might feel good to do against the wall to help keep the back straight. Inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, pulling the heart forward. Find your fold. Lowering the torso over the feet. Thinking long, not just getting closer to the earth. Little hinge forward of the hips. And find a space in front of you to gaze at. Finding that focal point. Trying to tune out anything else going on around you. Using the deep breaths to drown out any distracting noises. Simply being here, knowing that's enough. And let the asana do the work. Breathing deeply, slowly. Just a few more rounds of breath here. inhale, lift the gaze. And if you can, with a straight back, lift the chest, coming back to sit upright. Bring the knees together like a book. Lower the knees to the right and look over your left shoulder. 3 breaths here. Then inhaling back to center. Exhale, lower the knees to the left, look right. 3 breaths on this side. Coming back to center, lifting the knees, and then walking the legs long. We'll take reverse plank or reverse tabletop, or you can simply sit this way, hugging the elbows in, lifting the chest, and dropping the head gently back. So your choice. Reverse tabletop, you keep the knees bent and lifting the hips. Reverse plank, I'm going to point your toes, lift the hips up, maybe working to press your feet down onto the mat. But remember to take it simple. So for me, I think the simplest posture is just going to be reverse tabletop. For you, it might be different. Spend a few rounds of breath in your chosen lift. And then exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Wrap the forearms around the shins, curl into a ball. 3 breaths here. Listen for the breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Slowly lift the gaze. Release the hands back behind you and take a few more windshield wipers left and right. Gently rocking the hips, maybe massaging out the glutes. And then lowering the knees to the right. We're going to bring that left leg stacked on top. Crossing the knees if you're able, finding our cow face legs. And then reaching the arms wide, we're going to bring them back behind us. And you can either take prayer, maybe using a block here. Taking kind of prayer behind our back, or you can use your hips without the block. Find what works for you and breathe here. On an inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Dropping the gaze, releasing the neck. Then press the sitting bones down. Inhale to sit back up. Reach the arms wide. And exhale, cross them in front of you to give yourself a hug. Wiggle the fingertips around the shoulder blades. Exhale, find a cat-like back as you curl in. Inhale to release, spread the arms wide. Plant them next to you. And we'll switch the crossing of the legs. You can lean back, uncross and recross, or do whatever way makes the most sense for you. So our right knee is stacked on top of our left now. We'll take a different arm variation this time, unless the other one felt good for you. Remember, keep it simple. What is simplest for you? This time I'm going to spread my fingertips wide, walk my arms wide. Inhale, sit up straight, and then exhale, fold. You can take the same arm variation if you'd like. Allow your heart to melt over your right thigh, the head to hang heavy over your knee. And then inhale, pressing the sitting bones down, lift yourself up. Spend a breath at the top. Plant the hands behind you. Widen the legs as you unwind and make a seated, wide-legged forward fold. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, crawl the fingertips forward. As you lower down, you can allow your spine to curl here. Maybe the forearms meet the mat. Maybe use your block as a headrest. Find some stillness. in the posture, and come back to the breath. Listen for the sounds of the ocean, like waves retreating and then floating over the sand, exhaling and inhaling. Take 3 more rounds of breath in your wide-legged forward fold. Then pressing into the hands, slowly lift yourself up, walking the hands back together. And draw that right knee in, and bring the left leg in front of you. We'll take a seated twist. So gently sweep that left arm back behind you, hook that right elbow to the inside of the right knee, squeeze these together, just gently, then lengthen, inhale, twist, exhale. Continue to deepen your breath. And extend the exhales. Inhale, come back to center. Lower that right knee down. Sit up straight. Exhale, fold between the legs. Inhale to come back up. And we'll switch sides. Draw the left knee in, right leg extends long. Right arm rainbows behind you. Left arm comes to a 90-degree angle as you press your left knee and your left elbow together. Inhale to sit up. Exhale to twist, looking over your back shoulder. 3 rounds of breath here. Simple, slow breaths. Inhale back to center, lowering that left knee. Reaching the arms up. Exhale, fold between the legs. And then roll the spine back up to sit. Bring the knees together, lower on down to your back. And walk the heels in. On an inhale, we're going to lift both legs up into the air. Maybe you want to bring your hands underneath your hips to help support the low back. Point the toes and flex. Point, flex. We'll hang out here for just a breath or two. And gently press the belly button towards the spine. Gently tuck the chin. One more full breath in. And on an exhale, we're going to slowly lower the legs down. Try to keep the low back pressing towards the earth. You can bend your knees if you know your low back isn't a fan of these kind of things. Take your time. Core is engaged, but simply. And when the legs rest fully on the mat, reach the arms up overhead, take a stretch. Point the toes, reach the fingertips, make yourself as long as you can. And then draw that right knee in, wind removing pose, hugging the right knee in as you clasp your fingertips around the top of the knee. Exhaling to release. Inhale, draw the left knee in. Clasp fingertips around the top of the left knee. Draw it down towards your armpit. Slightly hug towards your center line. And release. Bend both knees. Draw them towards your chest. Find happy baby. Grabbing for your toes or ankles. Maybe your knees. Find a little movement, a gentle rocking left and right, or maybe you want to pedal out your legs. One leg goes long and the opposite knee bends. Then releasing happy baby, hug the knees in towards your chest, lift your forehead towards your knees, wrapping the arms around until you're in a little ball. Gently releasing from that ball, knees still bent. Shift the hips to the right and lower the knees to the left for a twist. Right arm extends long, settling down towards the earth. Begin to relax the breathing, allowing the body to return to its normal amount of inhale and exhale. When you feel good on this side, come back to center. Shift the hips to the left, this time dropping both knees to the right, twisting to the other side. Again, releasing the body to the earth. Not holding on anymore. Surrendering down for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, coming back to center. Lengthening the legs long, taking one more final stretch. And exhaling the arms to your side. Widen the heels to the edges of the mat. Making your way to Shavasana, corpse pose, where we find stillness and simplicity. This is still yoga. This is perhaps the most important asana. We often joke about how, I'm just going to be in Shavasana for the whole class, like it's a bad thing. This is perfectly valid. Allow yourself to breathe in. And then giving up that breath on the exhale. Surrender down to the simplicity of our final resting pose. I'll keep the time, let you know when it's time to reawaken. Slowly coming back to life. Become aware of your body on your mat or in your space. Take some small movements to wiggle awake the fingers and the toes. And gently roll to one side. We'll spend just half a minute more here, curled in towards ourselves. And as you're ready, gently press yourself up to sit. Taking the easiest, simplest seat you can, bringing the palms together, the center of your chest, Ujjayi mudra. Dropping the gaze towards your fingertips. Breathing in, breathing out. One last round of breath together. Blink open the eyes, lift the gaze, release the palms, and enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your evening, I encourage you to find the simplest way to do whatever is on your list and enjoy the simplicity of it. I'll see you next time on the virtual mat.